Hey guys, this is part 2 of my Doom series review, so make sure to check out part 1 to see the look at the classic Doom games. However, part 2 here will stand alone as we're just taking a look at Doom 3. Alright, so remember how in the classic games they were designed to have non-stop, fast-paced action, bright colors, and wonderful level design? Well, Doom 3 decided to get rid of all of that. This is when the series goes full survival horror and tries something different. But does it work? First, let's take a look at the differences of Doom 3 and the remastered Doom 3 BFG edition that I played. After playing through the game, I realized I may have made a mistake picking the BFG edition. BFG edition sold me on itself because it was brighter and actually lets you use a flashlight separately from your gun as opposed to the original version. I'm not a fan of games that struggle to see. Horror is great, but I actually like to see the horror, not struggle to find my way through darkness. However, a big appeal of the original game is the dark atmosphere, the shadows, and the cutting-edge graphics for 2004, so it was a strange decision to brighten the game this way. I would have just been happy with the flashlight upgrade. The other issue with the BFG edition I didn't realize until it was too late was it adjusts difficulty by adding a ton more ammo. This is such an odd decision for a survival horror game, where ammo tends to be limited, and limited ammo is part of the gameplay. Outside of those couple of changes, there's very little tweaking to the graphics and gameplay. Though even if I had limited ammo, I don't think the gameplay would be much harder. This is definitely the easiest Doom game I've played so far. Yet this is another game that locks its hardest difficulty until you beat the game. If the game is too easy, why do I have to beat it first to get the challenge? If I don't like the game, I'm not going to want to play it again. Maybe I would have liked it better if I had more of a challenge. Oh well. As you may have noticed, the game moves at a much slower pace. The game just drags on at a crawl, completely opposite of what Doom always was. The level design also takes a back seat. We go from secrets, traps, keys, and hidden paths to a completely straight corridor. We might as well be playing linear Doom. Oh good, it gave me a map. Anyway, if you're looking for that classic Doom style, Doom 3 will not be the game for you. The only thing that is Doom about the game is it uses the same guns and brings back all your favorite demons. It has the zombies and the Revenant, the Hell Knights, and the Mancubus? Well, everything is here in that regard at least. So the developers wanted to try something different. They insisted on remaking Doom 3 in the modern era of games. id Software wanted to get away from Doom. They felt so strongly about the remake, they insisted on creating it or leaving the company. Personally, I think they should have fired them. But instead, we got survival horror Doom. But let's put the fact that it's a Doom game aside. Let's look at it specifically as a solo survivor horror game. In the BFG edition, I have an abundance of ammo, I find health every 3 feet, and my armor level never seems to drop below 100, even when I'm almost dead. The enemies always spawn in a specific pattern, going in the direction you need to go. If you go the wrong way, there's nothing to surprise you, because there's nothing there. All the monster spawns in this game are predictable and not shocking. They spawn as you walk along, and they try to spawn behind you over and over. There's nothing in this game that creates suspense. Not to mention, the environment is the same bland corridor repeated over and over again. By the time you get to Hell, you're almost done with the game. Then you spend about 15 minutes in Hell before you're thrown back into the same repeating corridors. Then you have the simple story, which of course is told through annoying unskippable cutscenes. These cutscenes pull you right out of the game and build absolutely no suspense. How is this supposed to build fear if I'm just watching the scene? Nothing can actually happen to me other than what was already programmed into the game. It's just not a good story. I did better with the little slides from the original game than this had. At least the original game tells its story with few words and just uses a world building to actually tell you the story. But yeah, I believe this game hit all my pet peeves in video games. Here, let's take a look at my list. Slow pacing, slow movement speed, blocking harder difficulty behind completing the game, unskippable cutscenes, and finally long introductions to the game where it doesn't put you directly into the gameplay.
Facility.
Welcome to Mars,
expedite your
Marine.
processing, please proceed directly to reception.
I'm gonna need you to step on one of those red squares on the floor for a bio.
Yep. It's all here. But if you can't tell, I really hated Doom 3. It's a departure from actual Doom, and as a standalone survivor horror game, there's nothing suspenseful or interesting either. The only thing Doom 3 succeeded in was being on the forefront of a new style of first-person shooters and cutting-edge graphics. Of course, this was in 2004, so now today we look back on it and see nothing special. This game does not hold up. Maybe you play this game back in 2004, it will be a nostalgic trip for you, with great memories. But today, the game's just not fun. Alright, well thanks for sticking around for part 2, and I'll see you next time when we take a look at Doom 2016 in part 3.